Tier 2. We'll be watching the NA Ult Management versus DuckDuckGoats game today. I am Uravity, and I'll be joined by Lee Ratty.
Hi guys.
So we have readies on both teams, just going to double check spectators, and we're going to head in. So, if I remember right, this is the last week of this map rotation, or do we still have one more week next week with the Tier 1 and 2 games?
I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll have to check that in one of the breaks.
Listen, okay, pause button. Found it. Up on the D-pad. I won't accidentally press that at all.
Ready for battle.
So we're starting off on Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
On Ilios. NA Ult Management, I've got Pathetic and Gyro on tanks with Mr. Link and Non-Stop Verbal on DPS with Mooncat and Big O Taquino on the supports.
5, 4,
And on the side of DuckDuckGoats, we have Ryan Zaryak comp, and looks like they're going to stick to this Torbjorn with the Pharah, Ana, and Mercy. So we're going to see a Pharah Mercy coming out here. NA Ult able to use a teleporter to get the points first here. Looks like DuckDuckGoats are going to rely on this Pharah to do some poke damage here. Able to get Furba down pretty low on the Torbjorn and P side of NA Ult. Now KDB kind of flies in here, might have been able to get out. If that rocket landed, that might have been a scary situation for KD. NA Ult able to get the first tick or claim here, pretty uncontested. DuckDuckGoats are trying to find a way in. Looks like, oh no, the right hooks both go off the map. A good anti-nade coming in though from, I believe that is, was that Grill?
Yeah, Dr. Grill.
And Fahad able to come in here and just absolutely clean up on it. So, NA Ult with the first cap, but DuckDuckGoats able to retake pretty quickly, not let too much damage be done by that.
Yeah, that Pharah was doing a lot of damage in the back, and I've seen Grill get a really good couple of anti-nades into the fight. NA Ult sticking with the Symmetra for now.
They're going to actually use one of the ults I was just about to talk about them having. Barrage comes through, finds both the DPS from NA Ult Management. The teleporter comes through here, but it's up top, and after losing two, it looks like they're going to opt not to use it at all here. It's probably a good idea. Well, Sigma's going to go on ahead and take this high ground. You're not going to hear Sigma up there except for... Oh, well, the Pharah is starting to take aim at them. Most of NA Ult now up on this high ground. They tried to toss the Torb turret onto the alternate high ground, but it fell a little bit short. Prophetic going in here on the Reinhardt, going to pin the turret, do a little bit of damage to it. Furba's going to find the pick with their turret on the Fahad. Shatter comes through. I don't think either Shatter found anything. Now Molten Core coming through from Overhaul. Going to create a safe space in this corner here. The picks coming through for NA Ult, but it looks like they're just kind of being forced out by what's actually left on the point for DuckDuckGoats. The Torb turret from Furba finally knocked out. That's going to be DuckDuckGoats shutting out NA Ult for one more fight.
Oh, they got the stagger on Big O on the Lucio.
Fortunately, if you are going to have a stagger pick this late in the game, Lucio is probably the best one to get it on. But they're going to be...
A lot of ults used there, won't there?
Fahad at 66% to their next ultimate. Barrage getting damage boosted, gonna find that ultimate pretty quickly. And NA Ult has to touch quick. They're using the Molten Core. They cut off the escape route if they wanted to use it. DuckDuckGoats gonna huddle up on the side of the point that doesn't have any of the lava, but the picks are starting to come through. Window used here. Fahad able to get a boof on the moon cap, but the damage is already done. NA Ult really just have cleanup to do. KDB stuck here, gonna go on ahead and reset. Not gonna give NA Ult any extra ult charge.
Yeah, NA Ult are gonna have to do well to secure this point now because it's a one-fight territory. we've got the Farah barrage coming up.
I was curious about the window from Baptiste, considering they were going to have to start staggering these ults. Barrage comes through in the spawn area from Fahad just to keep Mooncat away. NA ult management has no healers here. The Lucio was going to pick up the Moira. And now the Goats are going to come through. Shadow comes through, finding two members, the Zarya and the Torbjorn. Both are going to fall here. That might be enough. Master Link able to find a pick on the Demo. The Fahad is uncontested back here. Not enough members of Dr. Goats really to retake the point, but not enough members of NA, I think, here to really stop Fahad from going off. And actually, again, Dr. Goats' Farah going into the back line, going to look for this pick on the respawn. Are they going to be able to find it? This time it'll be the Symmetra they're looking for. They're going to find the pick again! Overhaul using Molten Core here on point. A big charge from Demo coming through, almost finds Big O. Not quite able to, and the Shatter gets blocked. Would have gotten Prophetic, but now like the Goats, they have the positional advantage over NA ult. They're starting to collapse on them. KDB on Brigitte and Demo on Reinhardt, able to do so much work in this close quarters combat situation. Mooncat finally makes it back to the point. Gonna touch just for a little bit longer. The point's been flipped, but it doesn't look like any NA ult members are gonna be close enough to contest here. That'll be round one of Ilios going to Duck Duck Goats.
That was a great first round. 99 to 100%. Fair play to the Farah for getting a couple of picks off spawn.
Fahad on the Farah really doing a lot of work for them in cutting off those respawns. That was 2 fights in a row where they just went back there and picked off somebody who was weak to Farah.
And it looks like we got Hunger on the Sigma this round. And Gyro Best Boy doing the Sigma Arisa.
3, 2, 1.
Mr. Link going on in the Cree.
Capture the objective.
So Fahad rotating far right side. The Torb turret gonna immediately deny them space here. Rest of the Goats, got right underneath the camera actually. Did a full right rotation flank. Just completely caught this double shield off guard, and this more aggressive version of double shield that the Goats is running was tailor-made for an engagement like that. That's basically all there was to that team fight. Once they got behind them, it was over.
We got a Widow pick here from Mr. Link.
Very interesting. They must be deeming the Farah as the biggest contributing factor to Duck Duck Goats' success. Because I don't see why you would pick the Widowmaker in a Reinhardt Sigma tank line fight. But Mooncat able to find the pick on the Fahad. Prophetic swapping over to the Reinhardt of their own. They see that Duck Duck Goats aren't playing the boop game for the well, and they're able to execute on Demo's mispositioning. They got overextended. Now they're going to push in here. They're going to find Master Link able to find Overhauled on the Widowmaker. And now Prophetic is just behind Duck Duck Goats, able to pressure Fade out of Grill. And Hungo is being forced back heavily. They're just trying to stay on point long enough to get... Oh, okay, ults are being invested here, and Duck Duck Goats are, with the respawns, looks like they might be able to actually turn this fight around. Sigma, after using the ultimate, falls into the well. Or sorry, they didn't. That was the other Sigma that used ult.
Get into position.
Gyro Best Boy.
That Duck Duck Goats are, with the respawns and enough ults of their own, gonna actually hold this, it looks like. Torbjorn and the Lucio for NA ult, and the Moira's back now. Gyro back on Diva. They made the swap off the Sigma after they fell in the well. Overhauled's turret gets knocked out. Mirage! Oh, wow! Great shutdown from Link there. Shatter coming through, finding two. Unfortunately, Shatter, after its nerf, Reinhardt won't be able to follow up too much on their own. NA ult management have been on the better end of this fight for so long, and they still haven't flipped point. DuckDuckGoats are finally just looks like they just want to give this to NA ults after holding it to 99%. Great hold so far by DuckDuckGoats.
We're back into the 1 point territory again for NAO. Fahad, the fairer player, has switched to Hanzo.
He did. DuckDuckGoats trying this far side rotation here. Prophetic gonna use charge to get Demo weak, but might pay the price on their own. They do! They try to use Shatter! They lose the Shatter there. And Burba using the Overload, I believe it's called, to getting close on the Reinhardt and take out Demo. Overhaul gonna commit to Molten Core here, it looks like, but most of the team was already gone.
Is that going to be a swap off the tool to commit the
I think it should be. It is.
Yeah, they swapped to the McCree, yeah. I was going to say, you wouldn't normally swap or use Molten Core but in that moment if you weren't going to swap.
Molten Core being used on the side of NAL behind DuckDuckGoats, actually cutting the team in half here. Coalescence going to be used to keep Demo alive and in this fight, and it's working excellently. It's actually forced Prophetic into a corner. Demo able to pick up Big O and pin them against the turrets. And now Overhaul finding a pick up the Furba. The Gravitic Flux lifting up the tanks. That's going to knock them down real low. Prophetic 1 is literally 1 HP. Finally getting knocked out by Demo here. Gyro was able to get a remech, but immediately knocked back out of it. And DuckDuckGoats looking to retake control here. Can anybody from NA ult get here to touch? Big O on Lucio does get the overtime stall.
Oh, and he beats as well. Just to keep that stall going.
Mooncat makes it back, but there's still not enough members on... Oh, Fahad falls into the well on their own! The wall climb ran out, it looked like, but Overhaul able to get a pick onto the counter with the Doom. And Big O able to knock Hungo into the well. Mooncat finding a pick of their own as well into KDB. NA ult management looking to pull this one back out. They retake. DuckDuckGoats has 4 seconds to touch here. Can they get it? The Doomfist looking to touch. Almost gets negated by Gyro. Now Fahad able to get the punch on the Gyro, but immediately knocked out. Demo back on ball. Great block by Prophetic on the Shatter. Demo able to get a pin kill though onto Mooncat, but Prophetic chases him. Oh, Demo loses their Shatter right there. That was a great punch from Link, just cutting over the side of the well to knock Hungo off the, not only off the point, but into a wall very far away, killing them.
What a second round that was.
Mm-hmm.
That was non-stop action all the way through.
I'm excited for the series if it's all going to be this close.
Yeah.
Both these rounds have been 99 to 99. And I honestly didn't see how NA ult were going to, like, pull the rabbit out of the hat there.
Yeah, it did look difficult at one point for him, but you know that usage of ults like really turned the fight, in my opinion.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round in. Capture the objective.
We've got the Widow again from Mr. Link, and the Torbjorn from Non-Stop Further.
Meanwhile, it looks like Fahad wants to stick to this Doom. What I thought was a stall pick appears to be a plan now. And DuckDuckGoats looking to do a full rotation on this bridge. Able to shut down Prophetic almost immediately. That loss of your main tank is going to really hurt in trying to retake, or just, I guess retake space here. But Link able to get a pick on the overhauled turret. That's going to be less pressure on them. Demo answering back with a Fire Strike to do the same to NA ult. Looks like NA ult just pulled back a little bit here, trying to get their main tank back. Fahad maybe overextended here. Yeah, Mooncat gonna find the pick. That's not what you want to see if you're DuckDuckGoats. They start pushing forward. They've identified the location of the turret. Gyro immediately gunning for it first, but they overwhelm Prophetic immediately. Just a slight overstep on Prophetic's part, and DuckDuckGo immediately executed on it. And now ult's coming out like crazy from DuckDuckGo. So I don't know if I would have used that Shatter if I were Demo.
No, I wouldn't have used that Shatter myself.
Now going into this next fight, you have Lucio from Big O. Oh, Link able to find a pick on the grill. That's a lot of healing missing for DuckDuckGo going into this next fight. And now sights are used, so Doomfist has been exposed. They just go on ahead and leap down, able to get out of the mess they found themselves in there for a second. NA ult needs to move now if they want this advantage of Grill not being in the fight, but the grab comes through, and Molten Core able to shut down big members of NA ult management here. Now Fahad getting the cleanup. Hungo falls here. Looks like they may have used alternate fire on themselves.
Yeah. Mooncat tried to help the team out with the coalescence, but the grab Torbolt is just too powerful for a coalescence.
Demo has Shatter. That could be enough to shut this push down before it starts. The bomb going through. Oh, if that pin had connected, that would have been so big for NA ult management, but it doesn't. As a matter of fact, Demo gets a pin onto Prophetic, knocking them out. They lose their main tank again at the start of this fight. Hungo able to find Burba. This is looking bad for NA ult management. Link swaps over to Junkrat, able to find KDB. That is a good pick, but unfortunately, that you're gonna need more than just that one pick to take this, and it looks like finally DuckDuckGo are gonna get a decisive blow here on round 3 of Ilios and take map 1.
That was a bit more convincing. The third map on.
Yeah.
Play of the game.
Ruins, I would say, is the odd one out on Ilios, though. So I would say that I bet Ruins played more into DuckDuckGo's play style than the first 2 maps did. Especially with the kind of brawl comp they ended up taking into the fight.
Yeah.
Just doing my part.
But if it's anything like that first map, then we're in for a treat tonight.
Yeah.
In this series.
Right, so we await the swaps. Anything particularly eye-catching to you in that last map?
Yeah, I think the Farah and DuckDuckGo was really good in the first couple of maps. Like especially getting a couple of spawn picks as well. Really turned the fight in their favour on the first map.
I agree. Their Farah player had really turned up early there and made that first map win possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Fortunately, the plunge into the well on the second rounds may have actually spelled doom for DuckDuckGo.
I was impressed with Demo on the Rhine as well.
Me too.
Like he was blocking shatters and pinning out of shatters.
Prophetic 1 is also doing pretty good, but it just seems like Demo is just one step ahead of Prophetic.
Yeah, Prof's a really good Rhine, and he was just unlucky because with the Rhine Zarya, you've got a lot of damage coming from the Zarya. So if Pathetic got caught out a couple of times and the damage was just too much for the healers to do,
right?
Help with. Another thing on the first map as well was Dr. Grill with the anti-nades into that point.
Yeah,
really
very good
made
point.
A big difference.
think we're about to get our second set of lineups in. I should go on ahead and swap the map over to Numbani.
I'll keep an eye on the swaps for you, bro.
Alright.
Duck goats are sticking with Demo and Hungo.
Looks like they're just swapping out their support line.
Yeah.
Bringing in Pop-Tart in place of Grill and Mystic in place of KDB.
Katie.
I don't see a Mystic here though. I'm not blind, am I?
No, I don't see a Mystic either.
Okay.
Mystical Angels joined now, yeah.
Okay.
She's in spectators mode at the minute. She might have just joined. Has Prof gone? Just need to swap KTB spectator role.
Okay. Sorry, something came up.
Yeah, Filthy's coming in on tank, and Kappa and Buttweiser in for Moon and Bigger.
Filthy's in on tank, and then who's coming in for who?
Kappa and Buttweiser for Moon and Bigger.
Okay.
Mystic Angel has chat bug.
Okay.
Okay, we have readies from Duck goats, just waiting on NA up.
Okay. I need to hold off on sending us yet.
Right, okay.
Okay, so we have ready from the goats.
We have ready from both teams.
Okay,
We have
let's
ready
go
from
on ahead
both.
and send us in then.
Traveling to Mumbai. Initiating match.
Off to Numbani for our second map. And it's going to be quite interesting to see what team comps we see here.
Play a lot of comps on Nimbani. Just about any of them work here, depending on which route you take.
Ready for battle.
So we've
Looks
got
like-
an Ash.
Mhm.
Ash Junk double shield with the Irisu Sig and Mercy and back coming out of NIO.
In 30 seconds.
This is a very... Usually you'll see tweaks to a meta like this specifically personalized for a team's preference, so I don't know if you would... I don't think you would normally, unless there's been a change in this meta, you wouldn't normally run a Mercy here, but it looks like they value the pocket for the Ashe, is what I would assume. But
Yeah, I would go with that.
looks like Dr. Ghost still want to play this really aggro variant of Double Shield with the Reinhardt Sigma. That's just a damage dump tank line with Doomfist and Torbjorn with Moira and Brigitte. So lots of heals coming through here. You're going to get a lot of value out of the armor pack, specifically with the playstyle of this composition. But they are lining up on the opposite high ground. This is where the double shield with the Ashe and the Junkrat are going to benefit a lot. Dr. Ghosts are going to have to take a really long rotation here and face a lot of spam damage, honestly. But Fahad is getting into their backline. One uppercut away from picking off a squishy. They have to play into this Junkrat, though, and they're finally going to start braving it, but Budweiser are able to find two already, and Gyro, there's just too much damage and sustain coming in from this double shield. They're going to chase down Hungo. And now Fahad's just kind of standing here. He just crouched in the stairwell. They don't know that... I don't think they've even clocked that there's a Doomfist in on the map yet.
I don't think they have. The Moira managed to get away. But the Doomfist is still in the back line.
This time it looks like Dr. Goats are going to opt for a basement rotation. Here they come. They're coming out. They're going to go on ahead and force this double shield down on the point. Good halt here. Looks like the double shield. They're willing to give up a tick here. Using the Riptire just to find Demo, who was hiding. Mystic Angel coming back out on the point here, stuck behind most of the members of this team. Fahad finally showing themselves for the first time here. Not able to find a quick pick though. Hungo getting halted back out into the open, probably not where they wanted to be. Using the eat just to build up some shield. They're able to sustain long enough here with this composition. Unfortunately, you do lose Mystic Angel. That's a lot of armor that you could have been using. Gone now. Fahad finally falls too. Looks like Furball up here on the top, able to get the picks they need to kind of close the team fight out. Now finally Demo's gonna fall, just trying to, I would assume, build ult here. Between Gyro and Furball, they're making it really hard for Dr. Goats to get anything done. Overhaul finally gonna make this swap here to Ashe. And they're gonna full commit here to double shield now.
And the Baptiste play from Budweiser on NAO, the healing is done, and getting the picks as well.
Yeah.
We'll have another tie from Mr. Link's jumper at as well.
Going for another basement rotation, but the DPS are up on this high ground. They're going to try and make this double shield look in multiple different directions, but so much damage between the window now and the supercharger. Riptire coming in, gonna try and look for a tank, gonna find Sigma. Definitely the tank I think you should go for with that ultimate if you have the choice. The Mystic Angel now stuck here alone. That may just become stagger material, but no, it looks like Buttweiser just wants to go on ahead and finish off that kill and start the next team fight.
We're approaching down now to the 40-second mark. We've got a Sigma ult and a Moira ult on Duck Duck Goats, and just a Sigma ult for NA.
This is definitely one fight territory from here on.
It is, yeah.
You might be able to get stagger picks onto the point, but or not stagger pick, like, you know, stall picks. You might be able to get those onto the point if you lose this fight here, but ideally this is your last clean fight if you're Duck Duck Goats. They're gonna go ahead and pop Coalescence early. Here's the Grimmitic Flux. This was the big ult that they were gonna need. Gonna go ahead and use it. Finds 3 members, 2 of them high value, able to get linked. But Gyro
Bob gets
answering with 2 of their own. The tank line's gone for the Goats. And Pop-Tart falling dangerously low, having to cower in this room behind NA ult management. Now the rally coming through from Mystic Angel, going to do a lot of help for Duck Goats. But unfortunately, Furball doesn't care how much armor you have. All it takes is a Mercy Pocket for an Ashe to become lethal against anything. Demo almost able to get the pin kill on Gyro, but doesn't quite find it. And now Link trying to get the finishing kill or blow onto Hungo. Gonna go to Filthy Reindeer and a great hold.
First point and hold. And not even a tick as well, gained by Duck Goats. Not even a tick gained by Duck Goats on that point.
No, they did get a tick.
Did they?
Yeah,
yes.
NA ult management was using point as almost a resource. They were just kind of giving Duck Goats objective time, but at the same time they were whittling away at Duck Goats' resources before they dropped down. So Duck Goats have a bit of a tall order here.
I'm really intrigued to see what they play.
Because if you give up even 1 tick here, then you're in a bad position if you're Duck Goats.
It looks like they're going for the Torb Ashe with a double shield, the Mercy and the back. It's pretty much the mirror comp to what NA did on defense. Instead of the junk, they've got the Torb. Reaper, McCree, coming out of NA up DPS.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
And it looks like NA ult gonna go for a far rotation. They're taking the same rotation but quicker than Duck Goats took. Duck Goats not really having the damage to pressure down any flank. Hungo though, well, they get rocked out of it. They're not going to get any of the overshields they would have gotten from eating all that damage. Both immortality fields have been used here. Now it comes down to which team has more sustain, and I would argue that Duck Goats does as far as the support line goes. It's really going to come up to which DPS member or which DPS duo can come up bigger. Buttweiser alone here on the point though. Gonna get picked off by Demo. But NA ult management have taken the high ground away from Duck Goats. That may be enough to... Well, Link actually got stuck in the low ground there for a minute.
He's getting chased by the Torb as well.
Overhaul on Torb, finally gets shoved away. Link gonna try and execute on the halt, but now is just gonna go for the Mega. Getting chased a little bit, but ultimately Duck Goats off to leave him alone. And Furball getting a pick up the Fahad. Yeah, Matrix getting used here, but that was a perfect time for Flux. The Immortality Field gets used here, but... Banner. Wow, these ultimates are finally coming up big. That was a lengthy fight.
It was a minute and a half fight, that was. There's still no progress on the point. Is the Linker switch from the Reaper to the Junkrat? Oh, we got a pick
Spawn advantage. Well, nope. Spawn advantage means nothing when Mystic Angel is playing Mercy. NAL just kind of chilling over here, waiting on a regroup to come through. It only looks like they're going to give themselves about 3 fights here, which is less than ideal given the situation you're now in. If you had, like, if you'd really been able to execute, I think if you didn't lose Buttweiser there at the beginning of that last fight, then you were in a really good spot. But because you did lose them so early, you probably should have backed out of that fight. But they're going to try the slow ground rotation. Overhaul knows they're there. Supercharger coming through early from Demo on the high ground. Might just have to LOS that if you're NAL. They're going to. They're actually going to go for this flank one more time. It has to work this time. This fight cannot last as long as the last one did. Bob getting sent in. Filthy Reindeer uses the gold to just stop Bob from coming in. Gravitic Flux coming through, finding both the tanks, but the Orisa golds. Good move from Demo's part. Now B comes through. I think if you're going to drop down, this might be the time to do it. Never mind. Window gets popped up top. Link is going to lose out on a lot of that damage as the Junkrat. And now Gravitic Flux coming through for DuckDuckGo, and Filthy Reindeer dies while at the top.
30 seconds remaining.
Things are starting to look grim for NAL. They do get to pick on the overhaul, but unfortunately, Mystic Angel able to get the res onto them. And things are slowly falling apart here. They
10
spent
seconds left.
They spent 1 minute and 40 seconds on that rotation. Reindeer is going to be able to touch, but they're going to immediately die. The stall picks have come through. Lucio, Buttweiser able to touch, but only just enough to reset the timer. Gyro's back on ball. It's not going to be enough. Can the Moira fade on the point? They do. That'll be map 2 going to DuckDuckGoats. In a situation that I would argue NA ult management had almost every chance to win there.
Yeah, you genuinely feel like you can get a first point hold on there. You go confidently into the attack.
I think they just spent too long being committed to this rotation here.
I would agree. But again, it was a really close match. What do you feel NA needs to do to turn this around, get a reverse sweep?
I think NA already has what they need to win. I just think that so far I like the big brain rotations, but they seem to, once they get to the position they want to be in, they kind of just exist there until it just falls apart. I think they need to keep taking initiative. DuckDuckGo seems, you can easily force them out of a spot that they moved to. Like they wanted to hold that high ground, and the second NA ult came up there, they just dropped. I think it might have been a better idea for NA ult to have gone down there with DuckDuckGoats and just taken the fight with them. But instead they committed to holding the high ground while they were down on their Lucio, and I liked the idea that they were going to hold it steadily, until their Lucio came back, but then after like the Lucio came back, they just kind of stayed up there and never made a move until finally DuckDuckGoats built up ults and just threw Molten Core Gravitic Flux at them, and by that time they'd already lost 2 minutes of their time bank, and they spent another, I think, what, 20, 40, 30 seconds regrouping after some stagger picks. It just seems like
Yeah.
they're a little bit too slow right now. I think they need to just play at a little bit faster of a pace here. I think they have a good chance to knock DuckDuckGoats off their balance, but they're stopping just before they do.
Um, NA have asked for a slight pause.
Okay.
So we're just having a slight pause and break in play while we wait for some changes to come in.
hmm
I would love to see a map 5 tonight, so NA, come on. Let's get us there.
All right, so we're getting some swaps in from DuckDuckGoats, so they're gonna leave Demo in, which is a great choice in my opinion. Demo has absolutely been winning the tank, at least the main tank duel all night, but they're gonna swap out Hungo for Gara. They'll also be swapping Daddy Needs You, who miraculously moved back to normal spectate. Uh, Daddy Needs You will be coming in place of Fahad, and Grill will be coming in for Mystic. Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say anything at first.
Okay, I'll go on and do the swaps.
So, what map do they get taken off of? Would it be this one?
Hmm?
Would it be this map that they get taken off them? Forfeit?
No, it would
Or
have
the
been the
last
last one if they had won it, but
Oh god.
Grill has been infected by the chat bug. Welcome to the stream, nation. I just started checking in on chat over on the right side of my stream. I remember somebody saying Furball was the best player in the lobby, and I just see, but he lost the 1v1 to the turret. Didn't see that part. Furball worst player in the lobby.
Still waiting for some changes to come through, if any, for NA ult. But obviously Furball has to leave the lobby, unfortunately, as he was caught watching the stream. And as one of the rules for the Oasis League is, if you're participating in a match, whether you're on the spectators or the actual game, you're not allowed to be in stream.
It's unlucky, but it's happened so many times in the past. It'll happen again moving forward. I know my team was on the receiving end of that that punishment a couple seasons ago. Not fun.
So does Furball have to leave on his own accord, or do we just remove him from the...
I would give them the chance, but they don't seem to be budging.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really sorry about the delay in this next map. We're still waiting on
Yeah.
some changes, and obviously we had a little bit of complications with Ferber.
Oh, you know what?
Nailed.
I got so caught up in what was happening that I didn't make the spectate swaps.
There goes Ferber. So we've passed the 7-minute mark, but both teams agreed to have a slight delay
Yeah.
because of what has occurred tonight.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know how long extra we can give them. You rather say?
I'll go ahead and say something.
Maybe another couple of minutes. Well, Kenny's typing now, so...
I'm hoping that Kenny's sending a lineup.
Oh, I think he is, because he's been typing for a while.
I'm going to bother, because I assume we'll be getting it soon. There it is.
There we go.
So we keep
got
Filthy and Gyro on the
Gyro.
tank line. Looks like Prophetic will be coming in on the DPS line in place of Furball.
And Mooncat will be
Mooncat,
replacing
like I
Kappa.
said. Mhm.
So we have it ready from NA Alts, and I assume
Yeah, we
Duck
just
Duck
got it.
are ready as well. Yep, ready on
Ready
both
from
sides.
both again. All right. You know what? We should probably go to Anubis, shouldn't we?
Well, we'll have a little trip to Anubis.
All right. So,
Now entering
Everybody's
the
favourite 2CP map.
absolutely. Actually, it is my favorite.
It's actually one of my favourites.
And I would assume it can't be the worst 2CP by majority vote, right? Because Paris and Horizon exist, and those are also probably more commonly hated.
I forgot Paris was in the
ready for battle.
in the game. I haven't played it for that long.
Right? I think they completely take Paris and Horizon out of competitive, and they're like
They
reworking
did,
them.
yeah.
I thought they were. They said they were going to rework all the 2CP maps.
I think my only issue with Paris is that it takes so long to get from your spawn to where you need to get to.
Right.
That's my only issue with Paris, to be honest.
So, just a heads up that the sides have flipped. The blue team is now Duck Duck Goats, and the red team is now NAL. And on the side of Duck the Goats, we're going to see double shield with Ardemo on Sigma and Gara on Orisa. Overhaul will be on Torb, Daddy Needs You on Junkrat, Pop-Tart on Baptiste, and Grill on Moira. On the side of
Really
Elt,
hoping
we're
we'd
going to
get
see a
that.
similar composition, just with a Mercy instead of Moira, but the DPS liner double sniper.
Oh, the Mercy's being caught out.
NAL trying to do a really interesting rotation here, but unfortunately just so much damage Duck the Goats decided to pursue. Get the team kill.
I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Garusha. There on the Orisa getting 3 of the picks.
Gara made a really good decision. I would assume whoever made the call to chase that down did a really good job, and Gara did a great job executing. Really good concussive blast, though, knocking most of the players off, but Daddy Needs You specifically ended up right in front of NAL. Sigma shield trade here, but Duck the Goats seem to have the better shield eco right now. But now they lose their Sig shield, now it's shifted in the way of Duck the Goats.
Immortality out for NALs.
Molten Core coming out from down on Overhaul. Window used here on the side of the nail too. Still though, stalemating for the most part. There we go, the picks are finally coming through with the help of a halt from Filthy. They get lifted. Oh, great rock, able to knock out Demo's Gravitic Flux, and now they're being chased down by Link here. They don't actually close out the kill though on the Demo. Mooncat on Mercy goes up there. Do you think they're maybe leaving Demo as a stagger pick? Oh, there's the rock from Gyro.
That was a great nice take.
Demo with the instant respawn here, able to quickly rejoin this team. NAL taking pretty slowly so far.
We've got 4 ults, 5 ults now on the side of NAL. And 3 ults on the side of...
Bob gets sent in, but falls in the trench, unfortunately. Barrage used, Demo shuts it down immediately. Bob does actually find a pick up the Daddy Needs You somehow. Great Flux, able to... Wow, they knocked out like the Goats right there. Looks like the loss of Furball won't be hurting them too much. They still have plenty of fight left in them.
Yeah, there was a 4-minute time bank as well. Well, 4 minutes 1 second to decide. Which is generally a good time on a 2CP, man.
Should net you plenty of progress if you have to do a second attack.
I think it gets cut in half though, doesn't it?
It
With
will.
the new rules. So there's still 2 minutes is still a long time to be able to build some ults up and take a...
If I remember right, though, the 4-minute time bank will only lose it will only lose however much time the first team loses. So if they're like at 2 minutes and 2 seconds, they'll have 2 seconds shaved off of their time bank, and so will the other team.
Ah, right.
It works really strangely. I still haven't figured it out myself yet. I really need to figure that out.
So apart from the Budweiser and Dr. Grill, we've got a mirror match of Filthy on Orisa, Demo on the Rhine.
Yeah, it seems Dr. Goats really like this Reinhardt Sigma variant of the double shield, which is, it's very brawl heavy and damage jumpy.
Well, with the Rhine you can just push through the shields with his shield. You can just keep walking.
Hello.
Now it's just going to be a poke war for a little while here. Not something that Dr. Goats can really afford to take with the Reinhardt, but the Rista shield already burnt down, and it looks like Gyro not quite wanting to use the Sig shield just yet. Dr. Goats get pulled together. Not going to be able to find a pick off, but never mind, it's spoke too soon. Link finding their counterpart.
Demo getting really aggressive here, but Immortality Field comes through to save Reindeer. And that's going to force Dr. Ghost out after a few more picks come through.
Mr. Link already got Tyre. Compared to Daddy Needs You, he's only got 18% of his ult charge.
It's a crazy ult difference. Link just standing up here on that little ledge directly above the shop. Dynamite falls just short of being able to land. Looks like they're not going to rotate on the point yet. They're just going to use Window to try and pressure Dr. Ghosts off of it. And Tyre coming through is going to find anything. It does get Daddy Needs You. Link winning that mirror matchup pretty well. And they just collapse on the remaining members, come straight off the high ground. Still haven't even given up a tick yet.
Yeah, we're 2 minutes 30 left to defend. No changes in any of the lineup.
I think that the Goats just have to keep dry pushing this until they finally build the ult advantage. They did a good job forcing the window out here, but they weren't close. Oh, Overhaul's gonna go ahead and just throw Bob in. Tried to get point pressure, but Bob doesn't actually make it. I'm unsure why. Could Bob just stop there? Did it find Link?
Yeah, there was a jump back trap.
Oh, okay. Well, Dr. Goats have finally secured themselves a tick at the very least. Demo gets booped there above the Supercharger and the Orisa. Riptire coming out here from Daddy Needs You, finally getting something out of the Junkrat pick on the side of Dr. Goats. Looks like this is finally, slowly but steadily, swung in favor of Dr. Goats for point A. But even then, I don't think they're going to have a chance at a time bank like an AO has.
NA will have the better time still, even after that catch-up from Duck Goats.
And NA will have Flux that can counter the snowball.
And they've also got a Tyre as well.
Nail coming up on quite a few. Gonna go ahead and invest Flux early. I don't think it picked anything up. Tyre getting used here, finds Gara as they were fluxing. Very big value on that Tyre. Window getting invested because otherwise they're not gonna get a whole lot of value because everybody gets knocked down. But Prophetic One fighting the picks the team needs to stay in it. Daddy Needs You though with a Mercy Pocket. Your damage boost. Oh, never mind. Link gonna come in, finish off that kill.
Don't just sit there with your mouthful of teeth.
Tossing out grenades, just trying to get some spam damage in, rebuild another Tyre. But the Goats invested half of their ults, they don't have any tank ults, and Overhauled here actually swapped over to the Pharah themselves. We'll see how that goes. With Prophetic One though on the Ashe, it's gonna be tough for them to fight into, I think. It looks like Overhauled knows who their priority target is, but Prophetic gets the pick on the Overhauled, and the Tyre gets shut down by Link. And we have a charge coming in from Demo. That's really risky. Bob gets tossed in by Prophetic One. I'm not sure you need that Bob to win this fight, but Demo does get the pick on the Prophetic. It's not going to be enough. Gara's trapped here. Gyro able to come in and get the cleanup on it. I don't know about that Bob usage just yet. We'll have to see how quickly Prophetic can rebuild. Overhauled is now just swapping through the heroes now and finds himself on Hanzo.
He's playing Mystery Heroes.
Yeah. Psycho, the score is currently 2-0 to Duck Goats.
We've got a Tyre coming up for Mr. Link and the Orisa Bongo. But we have another Shatter coming out from Demo.
Link is just getting Tyres like crazy. Great shutdown on the Demo. Losing the main tank that early is a huge thing. Prophetic able to get another pick on the Overhaul. They really know who they need to be going after, it seems. But Budweiser does use Window there, and I feel like they had the fight. I don't know how much the Window actually assisted them in driving Duck Goats out, other than its mere presence.
I think it relieved a bit of pressure. With obviously, you want to play out a line of sight at window.
Gonna go on ahead and use Flex here. Finds 3. Immortality Field used on 2 of the squishies that were caught in it though, and the tank is, I believe it was Reindeer. They pop bongos here. Bomb gets thrown in too. Able to find 3!
Oh, 3-man from Gyro, best boy.
And now Dr. Goats finds themselves 1 minute away from either being able to take this to OT rounds and just close the series out here, or potentially still be fighting for their lives on Rialto. And Prophetic with another pick on the overhaul. Prophetic comes in, it's a fill-in for Furball and is absolutely living up to expectations.
So, approaching 30 seconds now.
The Ghosts are going to have to somewhat slow push this. They have the ultimates they need to win this fight. They have 5 out of 6 ultimates built. They're using all of them. Bob being used as an early deterrent. 1,000 health full body, but it gets slipped! Dragons gets tossed into the corner, but it actually narrowly misses Reindeer in the other tank. Oh no, these ults are not being... They're not getting the value they need to. They've used everything barring the Shatter, and I don't know if a single kill came through because of any of the ultimates. And now Shatter's been used. And they don't even get the touch. Any ult management... go ahead.
I was just saying that was a great defense from NA ult management.
Absolutely.
And here we have play the game with Gyro best boy. 3-man Diva bomb.
Yeah. As soon as I saw Pop-Tart get booped back and I knew that the Sig was there, I was like, okay, this is at least 2, but then it also found Grill. They had no right holding that final attack from Duck Duck Goats. They did a great job avoiding every single ultimate that would have turned that fight in the Duck Duck Goats' favor. Really unlucky positioning with the Dragons. They had a chance there to get both of the tanks on the side of NA ult management. They were trapped in the corner, but the Dragons were not far enough to the left. They weren't able to really take advantage of it.
I felt Mr. Link was getting a tire every fight.
It seemed like it, right?
Can you put Kenny when he comes in as spectate on NA ult, please?
Who's Kenny?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have to go in and swap these teams around again. Alright, the colors changed.
It's been a fascinating game so far.
It has.
Like, the first map could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
Second map could have gone either way on Numbani. And the third map, it could have gone either way.
NAL really seemed to pull themselves together for the third map. They were really taking initiative and not really giving Duck the Goats the chance to take the fights they wanted to take.
Yeah. It's pretty much what you said for them to do to get a map on the board.
Yep.
Kenny sticking with the same lineup on the side of NA ult.
Just let me know if a lineup comes through for Duck the Goats.
I will, I certainly will. It's always good reading the match chat between the two teams on the Discord. I really like the map Rialto.
I have a differing opinion.
I know, I really like it. But after that performance on Anubis, NA will have some confidence going into this map.
Mhm.
Or some extra confidence, because to be fair, their confidence couldn't be dented from the first two maps. They played well.
I still think this could turn out to be a reverse sweep if NA keeps playing the way they have been, or they did on Anubis.
Yeah, we've got some swaps in for Duck Duck
Ew.
Goats.
Hungo will be coming in for Gara this time. I really liked Gara's performance on Anubis, defense at least.
Yeah, and Fahad is coming in. And also Katie will come in for Dr. Grill.
All right. I gotta flip the colors around.
I've just asked them for readies. Got the ready on the side of NAL.
Just waiting on a team chat for the goats. I will say though on Rialto that NAL looks really strong when they have the ability to play the double shield comp the way they want to, whereas Dr. Goats, they've been wanting to run these more brawly type double shields, and I think that that play style will favor them on Rialto.
Yeah. The thing is with Rialto, it's like you've got 3 points to capture, but each point you could play a different lineup. Like you see a lot of comp on ranked with the Orisa Hog on defense for the first bridge to try and get them boops and hooks and stuff, but then you'll find it the second one you could switch it to a Ryan Zarya or a Orisa Sig.
So we have a ready from NAL. We're just waiting on the ready from Dr. Goats currently. I need to check something.
We're approaching the 7-minute mark that we have in between maps. Just waiting on one of the Duck Duck Goats players to come back. We're like 1 minute. We should, well, to be fair, should have started now.
Free Furball. Furball will be freed soon enough.
You'll be able to catch Furball on the next one. Next NA game. I gotta say, I think Profit done really well on the Ash on Rialto.
Yeah. Alright, we have ready from DDG, so let's get into it. Make sure our spectators are still good. Yep.
Let's take a trip on the gondoliers.
Welcome to Rialto. Initiating match.
So, while I don't care for Rialto while playing on it, it is absolutely a very pretty map. The score is currently 2-1 in favor of Duck Duck Goats.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
It's like
Are we hoping for a win here for NAL just so we get a map 5, or is that just selfish?
might be a little selfish.
I
It's
mean,
a good
I do like
series,
map
though.
5.
I wouldn't mind commentating on map 5.
Do we have the Farah Mercy coming out from NAL with the double shield?
Prophetic back on that Ash, too. It's going to be very scary for, I think, Duck Duck Goats to go against. But they've got Fahad, somebody who was shining earlier in the series. They're on Ash themselves. Duck Duck Goats going for this far bridge rotation. Reindeer's calling it, it looks like. Able to meet them there. Good halt pulling most of the team together. Prophetic popping off, finding both the supports. And overall,
Prophetic with
fantastic job. That's just short of a team kill right there.
Mr. Link finishing a couple off as well at the end. They only have the Mercy for Hills at the moment, and NAL while the back comes back. And they're coming round again.
They're really committed to this rotation. I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, Link showing us why. A really good dynamite here, finding both the tanks and the Brigitte of KDB. Demo trying to stay aggressive here, kind of getting split off from the team. Link to execute on that, and here comes a barrage from Link as well. You lose Link, but the res will come through on Q. Prophetic's able to find them.
The Moira's still behind as well.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Pop Sword?
Get Pop Tart.
Can she get a sneaky pick?
Might pop Coalescence, but Reindeer with a really good halt, taking Hungo into the lake. Ripper. There's the Coalescence we were thinking may come through.
And the buck finding it, the McCree.
Window here seems more to just deter Dr. Ghost from pushing. Reindeer might pay for that overextension. Had to use a shield, won't have it while they try to hold this corner now. Halt doesn't find anything but a good flux. Throws KDB onto the ground. Overhaul is dangerously weak. Just a tickle from anybody. There it is. Link gets the tickle. And finds Pop-Tart. Flux being invested here. Gonna try and bring him back into this fight, but I think it's a lot too late now. Hungo's gonna want that one back. Hungo gets smacked by a rock. It's gonna prevent him from getting the overshield. Reindeer, we see your tactical crafts.
Beyond our stars.
Prophetic! Come on!
We have the barrage from Mr. Link coming up.
As far as ult eco goes,
Overhaul taken out by Reindeer.
looks like Dr. Ghost is just trying to hold this spot here. Barrage coming in from really high up. Doesn't actually find any picks, but does force Fahad to fall back straight into Link's clutches. Getting separated from their Mercy. There they go, they reconnect. But Dr. Ghost are letting this fight last for a really long time, given that I think that the decisive blow just came through, and Rally being used here just to get Demo out, and doesn't even get Demo out.
Pathetic again with a pick. He's getting some really crucial picks in this first round.
This is
some really crucial
extremely dangerous for Dr. Ghost right now. They have to win this next fight. And not only that, but because of where the cart is, they probably have to win another fight after it. That's a good immortality field. However, KDB's not going to actually get the benefit of it. Able to keep themselves alive, though. Window getting used, but the picks are already coming through. NA ult management looking to get a full hold here on Rialto. Absolutely insane comeback in the works here from NA ult management.
0-0. Switching sides.
It's like we're watching a completely different team.
Initiating match.
It really looks like it. At first, I kind of thought losing Furball was going to hurt this team, but it looks like by putting Prophetic in on the DPS line, that it's actually helped this team find the picks they were not really able to secure in those really long team fights I was talking about on Nimbani.
Only 51.01 meters moved. How would you approach this as a defender?
Oh boy. So we actually just ended up being put in this spot last night ourselves. And our thought was basically, I mean, yeah, this is kind of what we did with barring the Torbjorn. I think we brought in a Mei instead of the Torb. I think you have to hold aggressively here and try to keep the cart on the bridge or just over it.
Yeah.
You need to keep the cart in a place where that even if you lose a fight, you have a chance to at least make stall picks to come back and take a second one.
So we have the Baron Mercy coming out again. NA.
Between Link and Prophetic, Dr. Goats have really struggling to actually... Oh, that's a really good halt, pulling 4 members of Dr. Goats together. They're being forced out already. The damage is just There's so much damage coming in from NA and Prophetic finds a pick on the Hungo. That's huge. Can the res come through? KDB does manage to find it. Overhaul losing their turret. NA looks to be pushing this slowly. KDB's already on fire though. Prophetic getting an angle on Pop-Tart. That's a lot of healing gone now. You only have single target healing from KDB's Mercy, and the cart is already touching the golden box of victory. You lose Hungo again. Master Link relatively uncontested, and they push it in. Yeah. Oh no!
Oh wow! 2-2.
We have a comeback in the works here from NA ult management. Even through the problems after Nimbani, they didn't just get demotivated here. They're still working hard. I would argue that they're working harder than they were before because of this issue.
Going into map 5, who do you think is going to have the most confidence?
If you're Duck Goats, I mean, I think that team has some pretty, like, I know a few of the people on the team that they're pretty level-headed. I don't think they're going to be too rattled by this, but obviously the worry starts creeping into your head, right? Where you were looking so good, you even got that full hold on Nimbani that you had no right having, and now they're being put in a spot where NA ult management has now twice in a row kind of put on a dominant performance against them, and it seems like they're struggling to answer, specifically Link and Prophetic. Prophetic is getting so many crazy angles on them and getting these picks on the support line. I mean, they opened up that fight, or their that defense. Remember the first fight Duck the Goats took? Prophetic immediately deleted the support line of Duck the Goats, and then they're on that first attack.
No swaps for Duck Goats.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if any other players on the bench specifically are going to would come in and really change this Link and Prophetic problem they're having. So, and I mean, Filthy Reindeer really starting to rival Demo here, and maybe even looking a little bit better now.
We've got the same lineup.
Same lineup on both sides. We're just gonna go on ahead and swap the map over to Busan and wait for readies.
If you were the side of NA up now, you'd be like, we're ready now. We want to just get on with map 5.
Yeah,
so you don't lose the momentum.
Exactly. I mean, I would 100% do exactly what NA ult is doing as far as no swaps, because it's been working. It's working. It's very effective. I mean, here's something you do have to worry about, though, by keeping that same roster in for so long. How long does it take Duck Goats to figure out what you're doing? How long does it take them to find the crack in your armor?
Well,
I mean,
they've literally played the same team comp.
Exactly.
For the last 2 maps, and it's worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've looked really dominant in the last 2 maps.
You have to think, though, that Duck Goats has an idea moving forward. That's why they're not making any swaps, because we saw on the first control map where they're not going to pull in Dr. Grill, but Dr. Grill was hitting some really big anti-nades that was enabling the team heavily.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we've got readies from both sides here.
As an Ana player myself, the anti-nade is such a powerful utility in this game.
It is.
Now traveling to Busan.
Well, they just gave us a not ready. Hang on, I'm pulling him back out.
So he was misinformed.
Yeah, we got a ready, and as soon as I pressed the button, we got a not ready.
We will get to map 5, guys. We know that you're excited to see it as much as we are. I'm just going to quickly go and take a bathroom break.
Okay, do we have ready for realsies this time? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and head back in here.
Now traveling to Busan.
Alright, so we're gonna start on Sanctuary. This is, I would say, I think every map has an odd one out and for control, and I would say that this is Busan's odd one out.
Ready for battle.
So on the side of NAL, it looks like we're gonna see a lot more of the same. Mooncat on the Mercy and Budweiser on the Baptiste. And then on the side of Duck Goats, they have decided they want Fahad. That same Pharah from Ilios that did so much work for them to come back in and do it again. KDB will be the pocket. And that's a very good Mercy pocket to have. So they'll be running a variant of Brawl without a whole lot of damage from their DPS line. I mean, you're gonna have Fahad in the high, in the skies doing damage, but Overhauled is not gonna want to be playing with this team specifically. Demo hits by Dynamite, but doesn't generally get a whole lot with it. Link able to outshine Fahad on the far this time around. Can KDB get the res on it? Doesn't look like she's interested in taking this res, actually. Gets burnt by the Dynamite, falls below half health. KDB in a lot of trouble! Masterlink gonna find the pick, but Overhaul is able to answer with a pick on the Prophetic. That could be equally as big, given how much work Prophetic's been doing for this team. They don't have the Brawl damage to really get in and get their hands dirty with like the Ghost just yet, but the pick on the Demo is gonna open the door up for them. Hungo tries to touch, but now they're just gonna have to feed themselves to NA ult management, and that's gonna be first take of map 5 going to NA ult management.
Mr. Link with the first win in the Pharah battle, and then making the Mercy not being able to get the res was pivotal in that first fight.
And I don't know if you guys see what I see, but Mr. Link over here in the back line now just hid until the team started to push forward and then came in for a flank. Barrage coming in, not really going to find a whole lot, but Prophetic able to get a pick under the counter DPS with Overhaul. And now 2 more picks come in. The SRs of these teams, Caitlyn, I believe they're averaging at around 3,100, 3,200 SR.
Yeah, it's around that 3,100 mark. So the 50%, 55% on point generation for NALs.
Yeah, Duck Goats not sitting on a whole lot of ults of their own here. Overhauled swaps over to the McCree. I assume they finally said that, like, Link is our issue here. Because I don't think you would swap to McCree to really deal with Prophetic. Bob gets thrown in here onto the higher drum. Bob gets booped backward, though, but that pushes Bob out into the line of sight of Fahad. That's going to force Fahad back. I think that the Ghosts might have just hurt themselves a little bit with that boop. And now the barrage coming through, finding the main tank and healer. And it finds Overhaul on McCree. And half of your team just got deleted with 10 seconds left in this map.
And Mr. Link getting 2 barrages before Farad could get 1.
That is absolutely insane. Are they going to be able to touch? They don't make it in time. Fahad drops to use the barrage, but falls just short of the objective.
Score 1-0.
But the goats are in trouble here. They looked so strong at the start of this match, but it seems like NA Ult have decided to do exactly what I said in terms of they've decided they want to play their own game and start forcing DuckDuckGoats out of these positions. They've realized that DuckDuckGoats will give you grounds, and they're taking every ounce of it again.
DuckDuckGoats are lining up ready to attack the Pharah from NA. The D.Va, the McCree, the Baptiste, and the Pharah Mercer.
It seems like Fahad just isn't able to get the same value that Link is able to get in the ground war, but also Fahad can't afford to challenge Link in the air. You can see both these Pharahs, while in the air right next to each other, ignoring each other. Most of the members of DuckDuckGoats are already weak. Immortality Field already having to be invested here. Hungo on D.Va just looking for this Pharah pick, and Fahad able to get Prophetic. That's a really good pick for DuckDuckGoats here, but NA might, they do, not even might, and D.Va gonna go straight into the train! But DuckDuckGoats can turn this around. Overhaul starting to come to life here, finally. Had been the most quiet DPS so far of this map, possibly the series, but able to come alive just in time for this, for them to really pressure the objective. But unfortunately, Overhaul can't do everything on their own. NA Ult starting to get the respawns and have just more players on the point still.
So the problem Fahad has got when it comes to the Pharah battle is he can't peek too long because of Prosthetic's Ash.
Right.
He's been hitting them shots so good that he's just eliminating him quicker than they've got on the other side.
But the goats really scattered here. Reinhardt kind of alone on the point. If NAL acknowledges this and pushes, but Fahad uses Barrage. Great immortality field coming in from Buttweiser, able to stall out the inevitable. It looks like the Overhaul able to get a pick on the Mooncat, and now KDB went for the res, but doesn't find it. Now the support line's gone for the goats, and a nice dynamite coming through on the Hungo. Gonna get them demeched, I think, actually. Very close to, but Fahad and Overhaul, the DPS line of DuckDuckGoats, coming to, getting the picks they need to really close that out. And finally, after 155% going towards NA ult management, DuckDuckGoats finally starting to build some progress of their own on the objective.
And they've NA ult have got 5 ults.
Nice dynamite on the Demo. That's going to force them to play back just a little bit. But here's the thing, look at the ults coming in from NA ult management. They have 5 ultimates coming through. However, 4 ultimates from DuckDuckGoats of their own. Bomb gets tossed in, not going to find anything. KDB going for a res, gets halted, still within range though. Link able to get overhauled and not die in the process, but NA ult loses their Baptiste. That's an immortality field gone. And I was going to say Fahad getting away with a lot more than they probably should be, but Prophetic answers with a kill on the Fahad and on the KDB. And this tank line with the support line, like Mooncat is doing so much work on this Mercy.
%61% now for NA ults.
You have, I think, one good fight left in you if you're DuckDuckGoats at this point.
Yeah, but definitely we've got the 2 DPS ults as well.
You're relying on that barrage to come up big, and then hopefully Overhaul can come in with the Deadeye and clean everything up, I think. But already a lot of pressure coming in. Deadeye being used to pressure the far out of the sky, and Fahad goes behind, finds a pick of the Prophetic. That might be good enough. I think that warrants a barrage usage to get Prophetic out of the fight. Hungo, now Overhauled, able to get the pick on the Link here. DPS line's gone for NA ult. DuckDuckGoats are collapsing on this team. It's now crippled in terms of damage. They get the D-Mech on the Hungo. That's big as long as Hungo is not able to get their mecha back, and they aren't. However, not a whole lot of ults to work with on the side of NA ult, and they've been put in a position now where they have to win this next fight. Hungo throws themselves off the map, so you have a chance here where Hungo isn't alive to kind of get back and
fight this, but OwO will have bomb. So they can just chuck that in there on their way back to point. Demo's the only tank alive right now, and it looks like Reindeer wants to execute on that. Overhaul trying to get a pick onto Link, but it's just not coming through, and Link actually says,
Link
I want the pick on you. Shatter comes through, but gets blocked. Gyro with a great block there, but OwO tosses bomb, and just like I said they would, they are able to find Link and Gyro, and now Demo, or sorry, Prophetic falls too for NA ults, but the point flips here. I don't know. I don't think that's a ghost that's anybody able to touch the ball. Can they make it? They cannot.
No, they can't. NA get the 3-2 victory.
Wow! I would not have predicted a reverse sweep after the first two maps from NA management, but they managed to pull it off.
I know NA and they'll be absolutely buzzing with that reverse sweep.
Absolutely.
To be honest, they'd have been disappointed with the first two maps.
Yeah, because if you were going to play that well in the last half, now you got to think like map differential as far as score goes. But absolutely, I mean, it's better to take the 3-2 in a reverse sweep than to just get 3-1 or something. Well, now we get the fun part of casting and commentating, the MVPs, but I feel like they made it pretty easy on us tonight.
The only one I have in it, I have one for DPS and I have one for tank. It's the support line that I have, because I think all supports in this game tonight have a chance of winning the MVP. If we was to go off the first two maps for my tank, I would have said Dima. But Reindeer's Orisa play in the last three maps, he was standing strong on the point on his own at some points.
I would, yeah, I have to agree with you, because Filthy Reindeer was my, like, I was going to present Filthy Reindeer as my MVP pick for tank. They just came to life.
He was
so
pretty
well.
filthy in that last three maps.
Yeah. And that's not to say Demo didn't keep playing well. I just think Filthy Reindeer finally came to life on the Orisa and just started putting in the work that their team really needed.
Yeah, and you got to give a big shout out to OwO as well. I mean, the first two maps, him and Demo together was, you know, they were a force to be reckoned with. Also, Gyro Best Boy, his Sigma plays was really good. His Diva, when he had to switch onto Diva. But I think for MVP for tank, definitely has to be Filthy Reindeer tonight.
Yeah, I can agree with Filthy Reindeer for the tank MVP. So it sounds like you also had an idea for DPS MVP.
It's a toss up between Mr. Link and Pathetic.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it Prophetic.
I was going to say, I think it's got to go to Prophetic because, like,
yeah,
Link really started showing up in the last two maps, but on that third map, it was all Prophetic. And that I think that Prophetic's performance on the third map was really able to swing the momentum for NA ult management, and I personally would give it to them for that.
Yeah, I would give it Pathetic. I think more Rialto is where he really showed us what his Ash play was like. We have the fun of the supports.
Yeah, that one goes to Duck Duck Goats. Me,
I would say
I'm personally between Grill and Katie.
That's exactly who I was thinking. I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Katie had some more maps than Grill did. I mean, when Grill was in, though, Grill was on, in my opinion. But
I think if I was to give it to someone, I'd probably give it to Grill, just because of the first map. With the anti-nades, with the Anna and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, take nothing away from KTB's performance. Like, she was really good tonight.
KTB's Brigitte was so complimentary to Demo's Reinhardt too, but
yeah,
I think I agree with Grill on the MVP though.
So, we good with Reindeer, Prophetic, and Grill?
I'm happy with that.
All right.
I mean, KTB had a shout, like, if they could, she could still play the Brigitte, but because of the Mr. Link changing to the Pharah,
Right.
that Katie had to play the Pharah Mercy with Farhad, so
Yeah.
it kind of took the shine off the performance.
Well, I think that'll do it for the stream. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, NA Ult Management won this series 3-2. I have been Uravity. It's been a pleasure casting. Thank you, Lee Ratty, for joining me.
And thank you, Gravity, for having me.
Everybody have a lovely night.
Goodbye.